Welcome back to another episode of the Caffeinated Librarians. I realize the camera's right there. Nice. Sorry, everybody. So going with our theme of, throwback 90s, 2000 movies, I guess we're on my pick, which was one of the best films of all time, Jurassic Park III. Fight me.
I'll meet you out in the parking lot, Amanda.
Now, why Jurassic Park 3? Well, everyone's seen the first one. The second one, don't bother. I mean, go watch it. Just don't bother. That one has nothing to do with this one. Take it, throw it out the window.
Go watch it, but don't.
But watch the third one first, because it's more entertaining. Unless you just really like Jeff Goldblum and you want more, there he is. Young Jeff Goldblum.
Yes.
Doing Jeff Goldblum things. Like the water thing. Again. He does it again in the second one. But we're not here to talk about the second one. We're here to talk about the third one. So. You said So I picked this partially because someone at first told me she only saw the first two. But after watching the third one, she said she did see the third one.
Essentially, as I suffered through watching the third film, it brought those flashbacks back, and I realized I have seen this film.
Dinosaurs!
Dinosaurs.
Because who doesn't love dinosaurs?
You better love dinosaurs.
I really don't. Like,
I have
honestly,
them on my pins.
I'm glad they're extinct.
To be fair.
Well, I mean.
Different times.
It's honestly, what I will say about the third film is that it lacks the charm and the magic of the first one. Like, I recently rewatched the first film, and I felt that magic of when I first watched it when I was a lot younger.
Oh, well, yeah, hearing the theme song.
Yeah.
And also, watching the gates open, I get emotional watching that.
And also, the dinosaurs looked good. Like, in the third film, did they cut back on the CGI? Was the budget not
was
the same?
barely. So when they did the original Jurassic Park, a lot of it, was a mixture of, I think, animatronics and
CGI. Very primitive.
And then the second one came around, and they did more heavy on the, CGI. And then for the third one, they kind of went back to the roots of doing, animatronics with the CGI. Because it can be kind of hard to...
It just didn't look as good as the first one.
Oh, no. Oh, God, no, it doesn't.
I know that there's a scene, and I know we're supposed to be talking about the third movie, but in the second movie, when they first...
Okay, let's just all talk about Jurassic Park in general.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
Because there is a scene where they do use animatronics for the dinosaurs, and it's... where they all find Sarah, and she's taking pictures of the
there's the baby,
the Stegosaurus, and she touches.
Yeah.
So that.
And then there's the T-Rex baby as well, who makes one of the most obnoxious sounds.
It's obnoxious. We don't know what they actually sound like, Amanda.
That's not true. I follow a very hefty dinosaur community. So we believe that when the Tyrannosaurus Rex, the noises they use to make Jurassic Park's infamous Tyrannosaurus Rex is partially elephant noises. So what they think that this large, although inaccurate representation here of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, what they believe the Tyrannosaurus Rex actually might have sounded like was actually it made little chirping noises.
Really?
Like a bird. Because the vocal cords and the type of body it had, they said that someone was able to find actual really good fossil remains, and they were able to predict that they made these, instead of making big ol' honker noises, they actually were little chirple,
which makes sense because the chicken is a direct descendant of the Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes.
That's just okay. And I'm just picturing that now. You're walking in the jungle or wherever they were. All of a sudden you hear little chirping noises, oh, no big deal. And then
massive,
boom, massive person right in front of you. It's ha!
It's
small chirping, but I am mighty.
It's even scarier.
Honestly, one of the scenes that terrified me, because I have a thing about water, as my colleagues know, I've said this a million times, I don't like water. So one of the most terrifying scenes was when this dude over here,
the Spinosaur.
Yeah.
What are you drinking then?
Water.
Get a break with you people.
I've got caffeine right here. I got 2 things of caffeine right here.
So
I'm tired.
So I don't mind water when I'm drinking it as drinking water. I'm talking like large bodies of water.
So
where
you
don't
wouldn't
know
go
what's
swimming
underneath
in the
it.
lake?
No,
What about a pool?
no,
You can see the bottom of a pool.
you don't know that. There could be alligators. No, I don't
There
like.
could be a Spinosaur.
I don't like large bodies of water. I don't like. Yeah. So the whole scene when they're on the boat and then you see the spines peek out.
so
I was like, oh my god.
That was my first introduction. He's like I'm not gonna lie, like Jurassic. I love dinosaurs ever since I was little. Like the first movie came out, kids were screaming because it was terrifying, and all
Yeah.
we were like, "Yeah, dinosaurs!"
I
Eat
will-
them. That's what I was like. I was like, "Yeah, carnage, dinosaurs!" Yeah.
I will say,
Dinosaur kids rule because they
Yes.
have no sense of morality. It's just, they just want to see the dinosaurs tear it
There
up.
was
Yeah.
like this really cool show on Animal Planet that had like they would battle them. They would take the statistics of what we knew about the dinosaurs and see which ones would actually like win. And I was like, this is like
yeah.
the best show ever.
Yes.
So, but what's fascinating is like this was my first introduction to the Spinosaur itself. I love this dinosaur. It is the most inaccurate dinosaur, the most mysterious dinosaur in the actual
Paleontology.
like world, because one, we thought it looked like what it did in Jurassic Park for the longest time. We thought it was bipedal. We thought that it it was that massive and that it could take down a T-Rex. Very well could. We don't know.
yeah.
We don't have that show on
No.
on Animal Planet anymore to let me know that information.
No.
But now, and I even
The
have it.
analysis was stunningly scientific.
And I
Yeah.
even have one on my pin because my 2 favorite dinosaurs are actually like velociraptors and spinosaurs. They're very fascinating. Tiny chickens versus big old water babies.
Yes.
So like the Spinosaur, we now think was actually like it had shorter front legs, but it was more aquatic than being on land.
Interesting.
So initially we thought it was like a 50-50, like, oh, it's cool on land and it's cool in water, but we think that it spent most of its time. And it's like very appearance changed. But the one in Jurassic Park 3 is just oh, so good. I don't know what it is. Jurassic Park, whenever they came out with like dinosaur designs, they always changed the colorings and stuff like that, and they were always like kind of splotchy.
yeah.
But they were so cool looking. Like they were like real dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Like you as a kid, you're just like, they're just
Well,
massive.
see now, I was 3 years old when the original movie came out,
Yeah.
and a lot of things scared me as a 3-year-old kid.
hungry.
But watching Jurassic Park, all I wanted to see was the dinosaurs, and the scene where the velociraptors got into the kitchen with
You're just like,
Timmy and Lex, and my mom is like ready to cover herself with the blanket because she hates that scene. I'm sitting on the couch going,
yeah.
go, you know.
Eat those children.
Get the children.
And
They have no opposable thumbs, yet they can open the door.
What? Yeah.
like I think they also made the raptors like they went from being cool, just dinosaurs like doing their thing. They're carnivores. They want to eat you. Now they had to make them these highly intelligent, methodical people.
Well, they are.
Well, they were.
Yeah, they were.
I don't.
Although
Tru-
they
I don't
were
trust
chickens.
anything those movies
They
tell
were.
me anymore.
See now,
Yeah.
what I like for the Jurassic World franchise, which I thoroughly enjoy, but in the third one, the latest one, what I really appreciated when. Yeah, he had feathers, and we know that some velociraptors, species, had feathers, and they showed them having feathers, and I was like,
It was well. They kept trying. It's like
Yeah.
the second movie tried to give them some feathers.
Yeah,
they started
yeah.
to try to like because as they left. Technically, the second one takes place on a different island where they tried to do another Jurassic Park there because he bought several islands, or something like that.
yeah,
Hammond over here just going nuts on islands. He's like dinosaur research over here and over here. We just screw up the entire ecological system.
yeah.
Um,
You know.
but like the second one, they have them with feathers, and I think in this one they have some instances of it as well. But I think they went back to a more reptilian look.
Can
Yeah.
we go to the really
So-
tiny ones, the ankle biters?
Oh,
that-
the compies.
Yeah.
Why was the little boy afraid of them? When he's in that overturned vehicle.
Look, we heard what happened on the because I think it made
Little
headlines.
boy.
So in the second movie,
In the third
we're
one,
introduced to these little
the
creatures called the
boys.
compies,
Yeah.
where they eat the little girl on the island.
Well, they don't eat her. They just injure her. She's not.
They try to eat her.
They tried to. They weren't
were
successful.
Just all kind of cute, like, hey, and she's
Yeah.
like, cool, here's my sandwich.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's not
Don't
how
feed
that
the
works.
dinosaurs.
No, really, literally, don't feed the
So,
ducks.
if anything, that did make news.
Yeah.
And somebody being in the community and, like, also being somebody who follows Dr. Grant in Jurassic Park in general.
Oh, okay. I was just like,
Probably would have known about the compy situation.
They'll probably would have known, if
Yeah.
anyone could survive being in the on the island for 8 weeks, it would have been him.
So they're
Because
tiny, but no less mighty.
right,
Yes.
Okay.
yes,
They are in numbers.
One of my favorite moments was when you hear the phone and the kid's happily goes, "Oh, it's my dad," and a part of me kind of thought, "I know the dad lost the phone." He goes, "I'm following the phone." I love that when he goes like, "I don't have the phone anymore." He goes, "Do-do-do-do," and you see the dinosaur in the background, and then you realize
just
because
staring.
he ate the guy. He goes, "Do-do-do-do."
and it's like
That part was
run.
funny.
That was a Ceratosaurus.
Was it a Ceratosaurus?
That was a Ceratosaurus.
That's different from the.
The Spinosaurus.
Very much so. The one that eats it, so who eats it first is the Spinosaur, and then they
Poops
find
it out.
and they poop it out, and the dinosaur that comes at them, like
Yeah.
when they're looking at the poop and
Yeah.
finding it, is a Ceratosaurus.
So why doesn't he attack them? Because the poop repelled him.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a big old dinosaur. He's a big scary dinosaur. He's gonna
Yeah.
eat him.
Oh,
Yeah.
so it's a different one. I thought it was the same one. I couldn't tell them apart. Okay.
So what was really big and significant about this film? It was kind of like, what was it? Who's the? I'm drawing a blank. Guy who directed Kubrick. When it came to The
Stanley
Shining,
Kubrick.
with the truck going over the bridge, kind of the big FU to Stephen King telling him, "This is my movie, not yours." That was from some documentary I saw.
I have no
There's
clue what
a
you're talking
scene
about.
in The Shining.
With the truck?
There's a red truck on the bridge, and it ends up going off the bridge. It's a very small scene, but it's a red truck, and it goes off the bridge, or something like that.
How does that relate to Stephen King?
So, initially, since Stephen King wrote The Shining, he has the family car as a red. This was a documentary I watched about all the different things that happened in The Shining. It was like production and stuff like that, and things that Kubrick claimed or whatever. I take this with a grain of salt. But in the Shining, there's a red car that the family drives all the way through the mountains to get to the hotel. It's a red. It's not a truck, but it's a red car. And from my understanding, Kubrick, put this red truck in the movie and had it fly over to, give an FU to Stephen King and say, "This is my film."
Like a fan theory.
It's very
this
possible.
Seems like the people were like, it's actually
There
about
was-
how he faked the moon landing.
Yeah, it was like some
God.
documentary called, Room 213 or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
that one's all about just the weird
weird
conspiracies.
things.
But
Yeah. So I don't know if there was any meaning behind this, but so Roberta is actually the name of the T-Rex model used in all of the Jurassic Parks.
Really?
Her name is Roberta.
That's cool.
She's a big baby. We call her Rexy online, but it is Roberta. That is the model's name. So in one of the best scenes in any of the Jurassic Parks, I always come for the dinosaur fights.
Well,
I
yeah.
love the Spinosaur versus the T-Rex. And it was the first time in which the Tyrannosaurus Rex, Roberta, is knocked down by this Spinosaur and is dead. It's done. It's gone. It's supposed to... I always felt like it was supposed to symbolize that this was it. This was the end. No more. Bye-bye. Kind of thing. Because Roberta has always been a staple.
Right.
When the first Jurassic World came out, everyone freaked out in the theaters. And we were like, yeah!
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
it was the same exact model used in the originals.
That's
and we
cool.
knew it was Roberta. And
Yeah.
we were like, yeah, Roberta!
I mean, when she had them open the paddock to the Tyrannosaur, I'm sitting in the theater and I start nudging my mom in the side because I think I dragged her
I
to
wore
the
my
movie.
dinosaur onesie to that. I have pictures of it too.
But I started nudging her in the side going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So, yeah.
So, for those who don't know, I know we're already 30 minutes into this whole thing, or at least a half hour. So, for those who don't know the basic plot of Jurassic Park 3, the basic plot is that after years and years and years, we have a family whose son goes missing on an island with his uncle on a vacation.
It
And
was
happens to
actually
be-
his mom's boyfriend.
Oh, I thought it was the uncle.
Nope, mom's boyfriend.
See, I missed that part. Mom's boyfriend takes, son out, has a good time. They get as close as they can to the original island. I think it's Isla Sorna. And they go missing.
Yeah.
Pterodons. Kind of attack on that whole front. So
well, I don't think it was pterodons. The boat someone got attacked by something on the boat. Then the driver and the parasailer operator was gone.
I like to think it was the flying ones.
The pterodons.
Yeah.
And so they had to disentangle from the boat because it was
could have been
to
the
crash.
Spinosaur.
Could have been the Spinosaur.
Although that's pretty far ahead.
Yeah.
The pterodons are terrifying.
There's actually something I'll talk about that later. But so. Years later, Alan Grant is, still doing his paleontology thing.
Trying to.
Ellie is out there. She's married, has a kid, living her life. He's still kind of traumatized by the events of this island.
Well, wouldn't
and is
you
called
be?
for a job by these two people claiming their child, a married couple, claiming that their child has gone missing and so they need help. And he's like, no thanks.
Yeah.
They trick him because he said no thanks. And they hire a really dumb flight crew for cheap because they're mercenaries. And Mr. Nudo is one of them from Sesame Street. Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle.
Yeah.
Is in it. He is. That's how I know him. Mr. Nudo. He's the one who, I think he dies relatively early, too.
Is it the same guy who, I think he's, dressed all in black. He's got a mustache.
Yeah, he's got a mustache, kind of, balding in the
middle. Yeah. No, he actually gets killed by the raptors.
Yeah, he went out good.
Yeah, he did.
If you can get out by the raptors, where they all, flank him. I love that scene. Oh, so good. So, eventually, they get to the island. Dr. Grant is now forced to go back to Isla Sorna against his will to confront everything he hated about it.
Yeah.
But he also learned some new stuff about velociraptors. Coming from a standpoint where I didn't really like the sequels to Jurassic Park, but I appreciated the fact that they had Alan Grant pick out different things from the velociraptors and put it into practice trying to survive. Yeah, and some kid survived off some of those facts, with the T-Rex pee. He's like, what is that T-Rex pee? It keeps out the little ones.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh
yeah.
gross.
Yeah.
He's like, you don't want to know. He's like, how'd you get that? He's like, you don't want to know.
No.
I love that.
Yeah.
So, back to, I guess, segueing back to the pterodons. Yes, pterodons are incredibly terrifying. So, fun fact. When Jurassic Park was written... So the one thing they cut out of the movie, even though the movie isn't very accurate, it's to an extent, the pterodon scene that we see in this one about the cage is actually in the first one.
Really?
They have to go through the cages, and it's utterly terrifying. The book is written horrifically. The deaths of everybody are actually pretty tame in comparison to the movie versus the book.
Really?
Yeah. No. It's nuts.
Wow.
There's a guy on TikTok you can talk to who's been I found him recently, and he's been talking and telling people, here's how these people actually died. And I'm like, oh,
so give us an example.
Oh, God. I can't think of one off the top of my head. I know...
What about the lawyer with the Tyrannosaurus Rex? Why don't we start with that?
I don't remember how he dies. I know there was one when it came to, what's his name? The guy who tries to steal the embryos.
Oh.
From the first one. Yeah.
Newman.
He dies incredibly, horrifically in the books. His death is not in the car with these things. They surround him.
Oh.
And it's utterly terrifying.
Yeah,
it's just oh no, because the dinosaurs in the book don't really look anything like how they're supposed to look. In the movie, they tried to keep it to what we knew of the dinosaurs to an extent.
Yeah.
Everything we had pictured, but then again, you have to understand also Jurassic Park isn't going to be accurate because they're trying to create movie monsters.
Right. But I mean, in the book, because the book is essentially about genetics and what happens when scientists mess with genetics. You said that the dinosaurs didn't look the same in the books, and I think because I've never read any of the books.
It's you're taking liberties. So dinosaurs and like the velociraptors are highly intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that so like it's weird because you have book versus movie.
Yeah.
As far as appearance, and there are like artist renditions of what they actually look like
Mm-hmm.
because he describes them.
Yeah.
But like the velociraptors are like they're like scarier. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
it's just kind of like the aura of it all.
Right, because
just,
like they messed with the genetics of an extinct species.
But sorry, are you looking up dinosaurs as well?
No, I was just trying to figure out how he dies. It just says later he's found by others as the compies nibble on the leftovers.
Yeah, there's a lot of.
That's I want to know how this guy bites it. Now that
Oh, his head is bitten off by one of the little things.
Oh, really?
After it spits venom into him and it tears his stomach open and everything.
Like
so,
what they
yeah,
would have
it's like
done?
pretty brutal versus like them going into a car and all
Yeah.
you hear is and you see the car and
No,
the blood
that
dripping
always terrifies
Yeah.
me. Like, even though you don't see anything, that is legit terrifying.
Well, it's
the
like-
guy on the toilet, he dies of dysentery.
The lawyer?
Yeah, it's very...
The scientist Henry Wu is torn apart by a velociraptor. There's
Wow,
an injured
so-
worker who's also killed by a There was another guy named Ed Regis who was eaten by a juvenile Tyrannosaurus Rex. There's a lot of like crazy.
So who survives the book?
I mean,
The kids,
Dr.
I
Grant.
guess,
There's a
and the
second book
kids.
too, but like there's Grant and all the main people. Dodson dies in the Lost World second book. He's eaten alive by by an infant Tyrannosaurus Rex, multiple of them, after the mother drops him into the nest.
I don't know. who
Well, I
Dodson
mean,
is.
isn't
Dodson
that...
was the one who came back in the. That's who Newman was trying to get the embryos for. He goes,
Oh,
no one's
okay.
gonna remember you, Dodson, and he comes back for the very last movie, and we actually get to see who he was. He's trying to
Wait.
start his own.
The villain of the
Yeah, that's
of the third
Dodson.
movie, that's supposed to be
That's
Dodson?
Dodson.
Really?
Yeah. We finally got to meet Dodson.
Because that did not register with me at all.
Yeah, no, that was Dodson. As soon as I was like, hold on, Dodson. And I was like, oh no, the Dodson guy. I'm like, oh, we finally get to meet him.
What about
Because
Dr.
he's
Grant's
not-
protege? Does
he's
he really...
Protege, the
protege?
guy, yeah.
Does he die in the nest?
I don't remember what his name is. His name's
Billy?
Eddie, right?
Yes.
Eddie, he's killed by velociraptors.
Damn it.
A lot of people are killed by velociraptors.
Yeah, that's most of them, I guess.
Is that
Yeah.
everyone's favorite?
They kind of are. I'm not gonna lie. I think the love for velociraptors definitely came from like Jurassic Park. I think what Jurassic Park did really well, despite like kind of trying to represent dinosaurs in like a modern lens, but also trying to give a physical form to them.
Yeah.
Based on things that we know and what we could find, was like it. I'm not gonna lie, it inspired me, like, when I was younger. I wanted to go into paleontology, but then I found out I had to be good at math, and I was like, no.
I also wanted to go into paleontology,
Mm-hmm.
but my mom was like, there isn't any money in it. And then I was like, well, that kills
I
that
have
dream.
a friend
Here's the
who,
thing. Spielberg was smart because he knew he had to make the velociraptors the main villains.
Yeah.
Because the T-Rex is too goddamn cool.
The
And
Tyrannosaurus
when the
Rex
T-Rex
is my
comes in, it's
favorite.
like a big hero moment. You're like,
Yeah.
the T-Rex is gonna show him what's what.
Yeah.
And like, he was smart for that because that's the dinosaur the kids really want to see.
we want to see the big ol' honkin' meat eaters. Just,
I wanted more of the herbivores.
The
you know.
Tyrannosaurus
You
Rex
get
is my
some
favorite.
nice herbivores in the first one. I didn't watch this
the
one,
third
hence
one
why I
has a
haven't been
lot as
commenting.
well, but more as background.
Yeah.
So we see a lot of like, we get the typical ones, the ones that
The brontosauruses.
we have. Let's see, going down the list, there's the Stegosaurus, there's the Parasaurolophus. I can never say that one. Ankylosaur, Brachiosaur, and a Corythosaurus.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the ones, and then
Brachiosaurus.
there's an unidentified baby dinosaur, which I'd have to go back and watch. To
I hope
see
it
where
looked like
this
the
was.
baby from the sitcom Dinosaurs.
Oh,
No.
yeah, that one.
I'm the baby, gotta love me.
Yeah, I remember when I was younger. Oh, memories.
That show had an evil ending.
Did it have an actual ending?
Yeah,
I never ever
it ended with the company the dad's working for causing a climate catastrophe, and they all die.
Oh, wow.
Oh my god.
Well,
I mean, you kind of knew that's how he would go.
Yeah, but like, yeah, no, they get dark with it.
Oh
Jim
my
Henson cared a lot about environmental issues, so
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that makes sense. I think a fun fact that I don't know if Amanda knows this.
Dinosaur fun facts.
Well, more of movie fun fact.
Yes.
The scene where the Tyrannosaur is supposed to where he attacks the Jeep that the kids are in.
Oh yeah.
Apparently, the glass in the roof wasn't supposed to break when the T-Rex tapped it. So, but because it made the scene far more terrifying, they kept it in.
I mean, it was a good choice.
Yeah, it was.
It was horrifying. You're watching these kids,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
He's gonna get them kids.
But I like, you know what's so funny when Adam Grant tells them don't move, and they all
Yeah.
start screaming and they move. It's
Yeah.
like Adam Grant.
It's literally like what they do. It's like don't move, and I'm like, I would have been like,
But if we go back to the flying ones, that's how I'm gonna
The
refer to them.
pterodon, yeah.
Yeah,
Pterodon.
I like when Adam Grant sniffs the poop and he's like, oh my, he knows immediately what's going on. It's
Yeah.
like, I know what this is.
well, his career is all about digging up bones and
Dinosaurs.
touching poop.
Yeah.
But that was just legit terrifying because they're flying and you can't easily get away from them, and then they drop them in the nest and all the babies are picking at him. Like, oh my god, you're gonna die. And I thought the young guy, the one who steals the eggs,
Eddie, yeah.
I thought he does that. I was like, oh my god, that's the way to go, being picked apart by a little baby flying thing.
Yo,
Like,
he
no, piece of
stole
that.
the Velociraptor eggs.
Yeah,
like
I
he
mean,
was some cool guy. Like, look
I-
at me, I'm gonna take these back and we're gonna sell fortune. You're like,
Yeah.
stop! You had such a career. You
I
created that
know.
stupid voice
I
thing.
mean, quite honestly, if you're stealing embryos or stealing eggs, it's karma. Karma's gonna come out to
Especially
you.
Velociraptor eggs.
Yes.
It's like, didn't you learn anything from Grant's book?
Yeah.
When he wrote about the terrors of the island. He wrote a book and he talked about it. And people were like, you want to talk about it? And he's like, no. No,
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it. It's in the book. Go read the book.
Yeah.
It's like, you think that the man... Oh, he also studies velociraptors, which is kind of crazy considering he got terrorized.
Yeah.
He almost became...
I think it's like wanting to understand it in order to overcome the fear of it.
It's like they're cool when they're dead.
Yeah.
And not,
Yeah.
chasing me and I can threaten a kid with a
Right.
claw.
Oh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of my favorite moments. He goes, oh, no, they wouldn't go fast. They slow. I just love that moment.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, it was like, oh. As a kid, I was like, oh, that's so
Well, and
slow.
what I really like, but I think this is what I really like about the third Jurassic World movie is when they bring back all the original characters and you have Alan Grant who studied velociraptors for his entire career, and then he brings in new information that we've learned about since the
But one
making
thing I
of
will say was
Jurassic
kind
Park.
of dumb, and Lou agreed with me. So when the velociraptors surround them because they've realized those homies have our eggs.
Yeah.
So they're surrounding them, and then the young guy says, blow on, make the sound. And I'm like, I'm sorry, it's kind of dumb. If these creatures are highly intelligent, you don't think they realize these aren't dinosaurs? So, and then he blows on it, and I was like, really? That was kind of dumb.
How would you fix the scene, Simona?
If it was you in that situation, what would you do?
I would not blow on it. If
Just
they're
pray to God.
you hand them the eggs. At that point, whether you blow is call, pretend you're calling for help. If these people are these creatures are so highly intelligent, you think you fooled them? I don't think so.
Jurassic World
They
taught us they
chose
can
to
be
let you
tamed.
go. No, they chose to let you go. Count your blessings and move on. It's like blowing on that stupid thing. At the minute,
That was so cool, though, that thing. It was like...
It was really cool.
You can buy them on Etsy. There are people who 3D print them, and I've been tempted
No, the
several times to
3D
be like...
Really?
No, the print thing is cool. It's just that the way it was used was kind of dumb.
Well, they had to use it somehow.
Yeah.
They gave it to you in the beginning. They had to use it somehow.
I don't know. I
They
think it was-
couldn't just not
Lou
use
agrees
it.
with me.
How would you have felt if the Velociraptor in Alan's dream, which was kind of creepy, it started actually talking? What if they had learned
How to
human
talk.
You
language?
see, that would
They're
have
like,
been cool.
Wait a minute. You said that blowing through the Velociraptor's skull to make them think that someone was one of the Velociraptors calling for help was dumb.
Maybe that's
but
why
you-
he let them go. He does
Right.
understand human language.
I think
but
if he turned
having
and
them
said,
actually talk human language is
No,
better.
I support that. I support a dinosaur just turning and being, I know what you're
Steven
up to,
Spielberg,
Alan.
give me a director's cut. This is what the movie was going to be.
Spielberg didn't direct this one.
Oh, that's right. He didn't. He should have.
It would have been better if it did.
Well, I'm not saying they should have sounded how they sound in the dream. It's almost like when a crow says a word, it sounds very freaky and distorted. Like, that's what it could have sounded. Like, you know, it could have been like simple, like, words, like, you know, we see you. And they could have just, like, walked off or something. I don't know. Just
so the director was Joe Johnston, and I didn't know that he was the director for Captain America, the first Avenger. I did not know that. And The Rocketeer, and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. This makes a lot more sense now.
Is such a gun for hire. Wow.
He did The Nutcracker in the Four Realms, The Wolfman, and Hidalgo. It's starting to make some Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji. That's a film I should have chosen for
The Pagemaster. He directed the live action sequences.
I love the Pagemaster.
What's the Pagemaster?
Yo, that was a horrifying.
That was a horror.
Yo,
I've never seen that.
That should be someone's. The Pagemaster is a book you should all watch. Is a movie we should all watch as like people who work in a library. Honestly, The Pagemaster is this horrific like live action
Cartoon.
animation movie with like, what was his name?
Macaulay Culkin,
a nerdy little kid who goes into a library looking for a book, and then he finds this magic book and gets sucked into them, and it's like horrifying.
No. He goes into this library.
That doesn't sound like Jurassic Park 3.
Hold on, we were talking about the director.
Who
and what else
apparently-
he's done for Jurassic Park 3 was Joe Johnston.
And
Oh.
apparently
And he did,
filmed the live action parts of
The Pagemaster.
Oh, did you bring dinosaurs?
I did to recreate,
Awesome.
to
Can I
reenact
have
the
one?
same. Do you want which one?
I mean,
do you
not
want?
to keep,
Do you want a
but just to play with
Velociraptor?
right now,
I
yeah.
want-
Oh my god, he's dead.
I mean, technically, yeah, but you know. But I got these so we could reenact the best scene in the movie.
Yeah.
Luke, can you back me up on the whole stupidity of the raptor scene and Dr. Grant blowing in the little hole and like
Oh yeah,
then
no, it's pretty whack.
How would you feel then if they just started talking? Like, what if that dream sequence wasn't a dream? Do you just want the Velociraptors to talk? How would you feel if they talked?
Wait.
The dream
What?
sequence in the plane
watch
when
them?
Alan Grant
Oh.
is dreaming
like,
and the Velociraptor is in
Alan.
the plane with him.
No, I'm glad that was not a real thing. Yeah.
That was like the only scene that really scared me ever. I was like, oh
That-
my god, that Velociraptor came out of nowhere.
Nah, that was dumb.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I liked that Dr. Grant was back because he's the man.
Yeah.
But
He's just tired.
you know, well, yeah,
He's like, "Leave me alone."
he's dealt with these monsters enough. You know what I mean? He doesn't need them anymore, and they trick him into it. William H. Macy.
Who's great in this movie.
You know.
There's an all-star cast. I'm not gonna lie. You have Sam Neill, William H. Macy,
The-
Tia Leone.
Yeah, that girl. She's woman. She's very good.
Oh, his name was Billy. Sorry, my bad.
Dr.
Michael,
Sadler makes apperances.
Yes.
She does.
Wonderful.
Laura Dern. You have Michael Jeter, who was Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle in Sesame Street.
Oh, any relation to Derek?
I don't really think so. They don't even look alike at all. Maybe. That'd be quite a weird family thing. But that's like the main cast there.
Being really mean to Michael Jeter here.
I love him. I thought he was the best part of like Mr. Noodle. I didn't care about Mr. Noodle. I cared about Mr. Noodle's brother, Mr. Noodle. Mr. Noodle. Lewis, you're gonna break the wire.
No,
I will send this T-Rex over there.
You have a T-Rex? Oh, nice.
And a Spinosaur.
The Stegos. No.
Spinosaur.
Is it actually a Spinosaur?
So
And that's bigger
what
than a
you
T-Rex,
missed
I
was
hear.
that these are very bad representations of the dinosaurs in this movie, but I thought they were very old school looking and I liked it.
I like them.
Because like the T-Rex now, they thought this is how the skeleton was supposed to look. Now they have it more hunched over because it has to go that way. It didn't make sense for the tail to
Did
drag.
you see,
It's an equilibrium thing.
Yeah. Did you see Prehistoric Planet?
Yo, I'm trying to bribe somebody right now. I'm like, give me your Apple account. All I want to watch is this stupid dinosaur documentary
I'll give
voiced
you-
by my man.
You know, I'll give you my credentials and so you can watch it.
Oh, tell me about the chirp sound.
Oh, so I follow two different forums, which is actually kind of fun to watch them interact. Is the Jurassic Park like groups? I love being a part of them because we're all just like Jurassic Park. We don't care how bad it is. Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is not bad.
We're
Jurassic
over here.
Park.
No, well, the rest of the movie franchise, we're over here like, yeah, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, dinosaurs everywhere. But then you have like the paleontology groups. Like I follow a bunch of dinosaur groups, and where we like share like scholarly articles about the latest findings.
Which is really cool.
Which is really cool. So, Tyrannosaurus Rex, they have now theorized, never made any big elephant-esque sounds. They actually predict now that they actually make chirping sounds.
Oh,
They
yeah?
make chirping, like little bird chirper
I'm
sounds.
glad that Jurassic Park was not accurate then, because that would have been
Not at
horrible.
all. As I was saying, the Spinosaur is probably the most mysterious dinosaur in the community because no one can figure out what it looks like. So, the ones that we see in the movie, and that's on my PN badge. I'm going to show it off again because I love my dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. Is actually a very inaccurate representation of the Spinosaur that we have now.
You turned into a 5-year-old boy.
Make more squeaky noises. Go.
Oh, that was pretty good. That was pretty good.
I actually, for the longest time, and it's a habit of mine now, is I walk on my tippy toes.
Do you really?
Because when I was little, I loved the Velociraptor so much that I wanted to be one, and I was just like, I'd walk around the house on my tippy toes, like, and I would jump on things.
You know, Lou, the judgment coming off you right now.
You're just
I
mad
mean-
because I still walk on my
That's
tippy
the-
toe.
That's just like the dad from Step Brothers.
Just-
Oh, that's what
I'm gonna scare my
what
child.
Jim Carrey does when he in a series of unfortunate events. Yeah, he's like chomping at like the people's heads. He's just doing like a whole dinosaur skin. But honestly, if they would have made him chirp, think about how much more of an impact it would have had. You hear a chirp and you're thinking, oh,
You're
tiny little
safe.
dinosaur.
A false sense of
And
security.
then all of a sudden, boom, comes this T-Rex. Just think about it.
It's kind of like the dinosaurs that
Good
we
for
see.
one scene. After
That's
that,
true. After
Yeah.
that, you already
Yeah.
know what's coming. You just hear the chirping, you're like...
Yeah.
It was kind of like the cell phone in Jurassic Park 3 because every time you heard the freaking cell phone
That
go
was
off,
just-
you knew it was a problem. As soon as they heard it, they're like, hold on, that's my phone. And then the big Spinosaur goes, "Rah!" It just comes out of nowhere. They're like, oh God, oh no. Run! And then they hear it again and it's like, oh no. Oh wait, it's poop. But then there's another predator. And we're all like,
I like how they're digging and they find the glasses. The thing.
He ate some stuff.
No, I like how calm they are. I got it. I guess after spending a few days on an island with dinosaurs, nothing shocks you anymore. But I think they missed opportunity to show aquatic ones. Like
it's really hard because I don't know. I'd have to go back and read. I want to go back and read the Jurassic Park to see if they did more aquatic ones. That's what I liked about Jurassic World, and they had the Mosasaur. I loved that thing. I was like, yo, if I could do Shamu, but would see the Mosasaur, I would fucking do it.
what's the mosasaur?
The Mosasaur was the one in
it's
Jurassic World. It was
is
the
an
one that they
aquatic
feed. It was the
dinosaur.
aquatic,
It's
big chompy
huge.
boy.
They fed him a shark.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I don't want to see
Great
And
that.
it just like
Oh,
swallows
he's
whole.
cute.
No.
When the
I think they're all
dinosaurs.
cute. That thing.
Oh my God, that's terrifying.
They were very big,
Mm-hmm.
but he was like the only one they showed.
Well, that's good.
And I was hoping for like more ichthyosaurs
Yeah.
and like, you know.
Oh my God.
But the mosasaur was a big chompy one. We all were like, yeah!
Yeah.
And the plesiosaurs, the long-necked ones. And
No, it's okay.
I'm sure like kids today love the megalodons right now, where they did that movie, The Meg.
That movie was
God.
good. I like that movie.
Really?
It was
I didn't watch
entertaining.
it.
No, thank you.
Yeah, I heard good things about
Yeah.
it.
it
I
was-
wanted to see it. I
was
was like,
just
oh,
fun.
it's a big shark movie.
Yeah, it was just a fun movie. Yeah. Yeah.
I love a good monster movie.
That's how I view all the
Did you-
Jurassic Park movies.
did
I
y'all
never view them
see-
as dinosaur movie fully. I think of them like American monster movies.
Well, I mean, dinosaurs are monster movies. Like,
They
I haven't really seen any movies that are just like very, very respectful of the dinosaur.
Land Before Time?
Land
I
Before
guess,
Time.
but
Yeah.
There was a movie I was
Land Before
gonna
Time
have you guys
14?
watch.
When they
Yeah,
just
they had to be a tax shelter for somebody, right? Like,
There was a.
it's like the Alpha and Omega movies. They never stop making them.
Yeah.
And like,
The wolf movies?
Yeah, no, they're funneling money through there almost definitely.
Dear God. There was some movie like when we were trying to come up with choices for like our movies we like, our picks for movies and stuff like that for later on. And there was one I remembered as a child my dad had, and it was like one of the most obscure, weird things I remember. It's called Journey to the Beginning of Time.
Oh, that movie rules.
Yo,
It's Carol
that was
Zellman,
like,
yeah.
it was like the weirdest film for me growing up watching. I'm like, what is this? And my dad was like, you really want to watch this? I'm like, yeah, dinosaurs, man, dinosaurs. And they had like the claymation dinosaurs, like, ah! And everything. It was like, I found out it was like a Czechoslovakian film, and I was like, what?
It's a Czech movie. Yeah, no, it has such cool effects in it.
It's on YouTube
God.
for free.
It's also streaming on Criterion in like very high quality too. So
Lewis is having a very fun time.
I swear, Lewis turned into a 5-year-old boy.
Could the intro to people be Lewis showing the dinosaur walking across the screen? Can we do that?
We'll do our own
I have
stop
such
motion
faith in you.
animation for the beginning. Just like, anyways,
I had little dinosaurs too. Like I had these really cute ones.
I had when Jurassic Park came out, I had a stuffed orange Stegosaurus with blue spines on its back.
Oh,
I had
gotta
a
look.
stuffed Triceratops. It was a fully stuffed one.
Yeah.
And then I had a Velociraptor one that was like an orange one, but it had like a plastic head.
I
and
know
the
what to
claws
get her for
retracted.
Christmas. So
It
anything
was like,
dinosaur, I could get you for Christmas.
I'm a huge fan of dinosaurs. Me and Brian were talking about, like, I saw someone make rings online that are like meteorite and bone fossil.
Oh wow!
And we were like, done. Like, you know, when the time comes, done. And I still follow them, and they're so pretty. And I'm like, when are you going to get something other than a T-Rex?
Oh, I knew a woman in my
I want
Sarah Lawrence
Spinosaur.
program. She actually had a skull of a bird. So there's a woman who makes jewelry with animal bones, and it
that's
was
cool.
articulated. It was very cool.
That sounds dope.
It
I'm into
was. It was really cool. So if I find anything dinosaur,
Dinosaurs. I always look for, like, I'm not going to lie, there was a
Tyrannosaurus
bathing
Rex is
suit
my
that came
favorite.
out. Which one?
Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's my
Babies.
favorite.
I was very excited. One of the features here at Mayapack Library is that you can get a pass to the Museum of Natural History every year. I utilized that when there was the big T-Rex exhibition
Oh,
going
lucky.
on at the Museum of Natural History. It was so cool. I was
Yeah.
like, Brian, we're going. The staff there was really cool too, because I was like, oh, it only allows us to do like one show or one, like, you know, the cool planetarium thing.
Yeah.
And the guy just let us in for both.
Oh,
And I was
that's
like,
cool.
He was like, nobody's really here, though.
Yeah.
I was like, so who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky. You get two. You'll find a cool guy there who's like, go to both shows. But I highly recommend that one. I don't think it's there anymore. It might be.
I would have to.
That was
look
really
into
fascinating
it.
with all the newest news about, like, you know, Tyrannosaurus Rex and, like, you know, all the different subspecies
Yeah.
of Rexes. There was this really cute one. It was, like, super tiny. And, like, I was just like, oh, Brian, look at it. I was like a child. I was just like,
well, it's sort of like
can we
with
get a
bald,
souvenir?
with bald egos. The sound you associate with them in the films, it's actually not a bald eagle because a bald eagle, the call isn't that impressive. They use hawks.
Oh yeah,
For the sound.
what does a bald eagle actually sound like?
Very unimpressive.
Like what?
Like almost like if you think the
Like-
Tyrannosaurus.
It's not like that. It's not like that.
That's a
see.
hawk.
Oh, then what does an eagle sound like?
You can.
Well,
look
I
at
think
Let's see.
it.
Like that?
that's a pro.
I just hear water.
Hold on, he'll do it. He's looking.
How long is this video? If it's longer than 15 seconds.
It's like, he's hold on. Hold on. Okay, skip ahead.
That's it? Oh, that's kind of cool. It sounds like, if I heard that in the wilderness, I'd be
I
freaked
love
out.
how his enthusiasm is. He's like,
No, you know what's
very intense. He's like,
you know what's legit terrifying? Have you ever heard the vixen scream?
Oh yeah,
the fox
just
calls it
scream like people.
scream.
When it's mating season, the male foxes let out this terrifying, blood-curdling scream. The first time I heard it, I was sleeping in bed, and I'm like, "Oh my God, someone is being murdered." No, it's a fox.
And that gets the attention of the female foxes.
Look at this one. What does the fox actually says?
Nice.
A coyote sounds like a crying baby.
Like, can you
That's
imagine
what they get you.
That's how I can believe our ancestors. Can you imagine the dead of night around the campfire? All of a sudden, you hear that. No wonder they thought
Well,
about.
cats meows are actually a learned behavior. They don't meow in the wild.
No, they.
So they only meow in front of humans. That's why, like, there's one cat I follow that makes like this little. They call him like, crispy, and he sounds like a little. He's like, sounds like a little cracker. He's like, he sticks his tongue. You're just like, he's crispy. But yes.
Wow.
All the sounds in Jurassic Parks do not represent the actual sounds
No.
of any of the dinosaurs present.
Did you I hope you guys did talk about Jurassic Park 3 a little bit.
Well,
Oh,
yes,
yeah,
we
we
did.
Oh, good. All right.
No, we did.
Well, Mr. Judgy Judge.
'Cause it
Judge.
seems
What's
to
your
have-
favorite
we did.
It
scene of
seems to
Jurassic
have
Park 3?
Completely gone off the rails.
It's been great.
My favorite scene in Jurassic Park 3. You know what it is? It's the part where Dr. Grant is like, where they're like, we need you to help us find our son and blah, blah, blah. And then Dr. Grant is like, I was never on this island.
Yeah.
And then they're all like, oh,
Yeah, I think he was on Nublar and they want him to go to Sorna.
Yeah.
And he's like, there's no way in hell you'll get me to set foot on that island. And then they did.
Yeah.
Very
They were
easily.
deceptive.
Money.
Right, but he wasn't even, they took him. And that just goes to show you how poor planning William H. Macy does in this movie. He's just
Yeah, but you can't lie.
His wife's
William
name's
H.
Amanda, and I don't appreciate her representation of the other people named Amanda. I'm like, I am not that
But
fickle.
you also have to appreciate how great William H. Macy is in the movie.
Oh yeah, I mean he's very good in it, but his character is just
A ditz.
yeah.
Yo, he's
And
a
how
man
good-
who's hurt. He's
how
a man
good-
going through a divorce who didn't want a divorce. His wife decided to see a younger man, and he's very sad.
Well,
he's a very sad boy.
they get back
and
together.
He just they do.
You notice how quickly she gets over the fact that her
Boyfriend.
boyfriend just died out there?
I mean, replaceable.
Yeah, I guess so. Clearly.
Dinosaurs.
And she
eating
wasn't really
replaceable.
into it.
I
How
think she's
how
more
good does
anxious
that
forgot
movie
about
make?
Because she put her son in danger. Like,
Right.
wow, okay, he
Yeah,
deserves
maybe,
to get
yeah.
eaten by a dinosaur. Screw that guy.
How good does that movie make Crunch Bars look?
Yo, it makes everything look delicious. Like
Oh,
even
that's
the,
what they were
It makes
eating?
everything look delicious. What? What does that
I think
mean?
the Jurassic Park series has done a really good job with food. Like remember the first one where they had that
yeah.
giant
The
piece
ice
of just
cream?
ice cream and like
Agreed.
Jello.
Agreed. Yes.
You're like,
yeah.
man, I
No,
really
like,
wish this was real. I want to go.
Watching Laura Dern and what's the actor's name who plays John Hammond?
I don't know his name, but
You can say Hammond. That's fine. I'll understand.
Attenborough.
Yeah.
Attenborough. Yeah, I don't know his first name.
Richard.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Is that Richard
They-
Attenborough?
Yeah.
They're sitting at the table and they have tubs of ice cream out because the power is out and all the ice cream will melt if they don't eat it.
Yeah. And he spared no expense.
Not so much. I was also talking about before you.
Interrupted.
No, about the deaths that actually occurred in the book versus
Versus the
what's
movie.
interesting about Jurassic Park 3 is that the bird cage, the pterodon, was supposed to be in the original first one because it's
Yeah.
part of the book
It is.
and it's like really scary.
Have you read the book?
Yeah, only the first one.
Was it really good?
Yeah.
It's scary. It's scarier than that one. Yeah, it's a horror novel, definitely. But I was telling them that, like, what was his name? Like, Henry Wu died because he was torn apart by a velociraptor, but, like, Nedry, Dennis's death is a lot worse.
Than what we see in the
Yeah.
film.
Num-nummed.
Quite literally.
All the dinosaurs, num-num.
Yeah.
I forgot that B.D. Wong was in there.
Yeah.
I like B.D. Wong from Law and Order SVU. He was the only reason why I used to love watching that show.
He's also the voice of Shang.
Yes,
Of
let's
Shang
get
in
down to
Mulan.
biz- Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
To defeat the Huns.
Too bad he
Send
couldn't,
me daughters when I ask
save
for
himself.
some-
He lasted a while in the
But
movie,
no-
so I was surprised. I was
No,
like,
he
"Ah."
dies in the movie?
No.
Oh, okay. I
No.
would remember that if B.D. Wong
Died
looked
in
at
the
us.
kicked the bucket in the movie.
Yes.
He
No,
survived,
he doesn't.
I was like,
Yeah.
why aren't you dead? I thought the bugs were gonna get him. I was like,
Which bugs?
in the
From
last
the-
movie,
from the last
there's
Jurassic
they release
World
all
movie.
the giant locusts.
Yeah, that
Oh,
was
I forgot
whack.
about prehistoric bugs.
From the
Yo,
Cretaceous
prehistoric bugs
period.
are probably the, you know,
like Joe, he's like
not even the rarest fossils to come across. It's like plants, shells, and also like, you know, you get like insects. Insects are like massive.
Yeah,
like who would want to be around
Because of
at
the
that
air.
time?
Oh, it's the air.
Big ass cockroaches. It's terrible.
There was the
Big old
locusts.
centipedes.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Well, when one of
It
my
was
friends
the
told
type of
me
environments too,
that
yeah. the
house
air.
centipedes, like they love dark places and they just continue to grow, and there was a big one on my wall, and she was like, you know, they can get even bigger. I said, can you just kill it now? I was like, oh my god, terrifying. So no, it kind of reminds me, I wish we should have watched Jumanji, like thinking, I love that film, because there's
Well,
the
the guy
plants
directed
try
that
to eat
movie
you.
too.
Yeah, because like there's the plant that tries to eat
So
them.
then
I
why
want
don't
that
you
plan.
put it as your pick?
I already did mine. It was A Knight's Tale.
Well, we have an opening next Friday on the 23rd.
No, it's okay. I won't do that. Well, no, the
On
rest
the
of wait,
23rd.
you still.
She's the 22nd.
Oh no, it's okay.
Yeah, I already picked my
We
film.
offered it.
And
You
I
could always
appreciate-
We're
bribe
not
Ben.
doing anything on the
You could
23rd.
always bribe Ben.
To do what?
His spot. Did he choose a movie for his
Yeah,
spot?
he doesn't even know about the choices.
No, he does.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he was here for Knight's Tale.
Bribe.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just slip him a 20. Jumanji.
20. You could probably give him a lollipop and he'll say, yeah, whatever.
Just give him a single Hershey's kiss and just be like, Jumanji. For your consideration. Sorry, Ben. I put you up high. They're putting you low. For the amount to bribe you with.
I wasn't even gonna like. First of all, you're
I
the
wasn't
folks-
even gonna bribe you.
So think about that, Ben.
So my closing thoughts on Jurassic Park 3.
Yes.
Do it.
Better than Jurassic Park 2 and any of the Jurassic Worlds, but not nearly. It's not even on the same. It's not even the same sport as the first Jurassic Park.
That's saying something.
It is.
And what's the sport that Jurassic Park 1 is in? Baseball.
I don't know,
football?
like any professional sport, and Jurassic Park 3
It's
is
like the
Little
Pee-wee
League,
League.
and all the other ones are video games.
Watch the gamers come at us now.
He died.
He didn't like you. He lunged at you. He was like, "How dare you!"
He's extinct.
I swear to God, he's 5 years old.
I think Joe is done with us now. He's like,
I just didn't watch the movie. I can't comment.
you can still
I would-
comment. Do
Did
you
you
love
watch
dinosaurs?
any of the
Do
movies?
you love dinosaurs?
I saw the first one. That's it.
No,
So then you
go watch them all.
Hey, you're not giving them glowing reviews.
Look, I understand when my movies like aren't good movies, but do I? Jurassic Park 3, I will say, is better than the second one. I think what Jurassic World tried to do, like they tried to copy the same formula as like Jurassic Park 2, and Jurassic Park 3. Literally, Jurassic World 2 was literally just a semi copy of the second one with the whole, oh no, we're bringing the dinosaurs to the mainland. The second one was not my favorite. It was kind of a weird ride that had a big more of a political agenda attached to it. Was that these dinosaurs? They're like, it was a PETA movie. It was like literally they were like, oh no, they're capturing the dinosaurs and bringing them to the end, and then we're gonna make a really cool show, and we're gonna auction them off and do all this, and then a T-Rex got loose and ate a dog.
That's
and
just
you're
the
like,
plot
oh
of
no.
King Kong.
True. So they basically tried to
I
do
don't,
this whole.
I don't quite know if King Kong qualifies as a PETA movie.
No, not so much.
I-
But this one, it's
I'm
like
just-
you have poachers all over the place capturing up all the dinosaurs, especially the babies, which you still feel bad for. You're like, no, not the babies. And they're like putting them on TV, like this is what it is. We're gonna like zap them with a thing. It's sad. It just personally was not my favorite. It was a weird. It was Jeff Goldblum's standalone, and then the third one they tried to bring back Grant for it, which I thought was great. The third one holds a special place in my heart, just because one. Every time I see the Spinosaur and Tyrannosaurus Rex fight, I'm like a child again. I'm like, go, get him. It's like, everything's like.
Just watching Jurassic Park and watching, for anybody else, watching the dinosaurs fight each other, does it make you want a steak?
No.
No one else craves a steak watching that.
No.
Nah,
I just
it makes
like.
me
I
go
get
feral
kind
in
of
my
like
living room.
ravenous. Like,
Jurassic Park and steak would be a good combo.
Yeah, right.
No, I
have
agree.
steak, a nice scotch.
Tyrannosaurus
Fries
steak.
on the side.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like it.
Yo,
That's
that'd
what
be
we
the
should have had for
best
the episode.
drive-in. Just go to like a drive-in, like the old like Flintstones drive-in version where they give you the giant steak next to you, and it's like, yeah. Oh, or the Flintstones in the opening would go to a drive-through.
I mean,
and they'd have the giant ribs.
Yes, I do know what you're talking about.
Lewis is looking at me like, what? That's what we need. So, closing thoughts. Everyone should. I love Jurassic Park 3. I think Jurassic Park in general as its own it's just the sole franchise is just so much fun to watch. It's like dinosaurs, monsters, like, you know, a love for like paleontology.
Yeah.
Just
Pseudoscience,
you know, what would happen if
Awesome
this was
hats.
a thing. Well, considering that they're doing it now.
Dr. Grant's
They're
hat.
trying to, I think they successfully were able to clone a Tasmanian tiger recently, which is an extinct species because
Because the Tasmanian tiger, or was it?
was hunted to
It
extinction.
was
the
hunted
same thing
to
as the
extinction.
dodo.
It was still living in the early 20th century.
Okay,
And-
that's fine.
But that doesn't mean
think
that
that
also
was-
dinosaurs aren't on. They found some good samples recently
Don't
of
do
someone
Jurassic
with
Park
the
can
marrow.
happen.
Don't do it.
It could very well happen, and
I
actually
was
sooner
joking.
than we think.
Oh joy!
Don't do it.
And that just brings us back to, you know, Jeff Goldblum's infamous quote is like, you
Life
know,
finds a way.
well, they didn't think about
They didn't
what
think about if they should.
think about
Just that they
that they could.
Yeah.
Yeah. So with that, I think we'll end the episode here. Watch dinosaurs.